What's going on, guys? Balkan Architect here, and in today's tutorial I have a beginner landscape or site or terrain in the Revit tutorial. So I was searching through my old videos and I don't really have a dedicated beginner's video to a landscape in Revit, and it's such a complex topic. I have many videos on little tips and tricks for that topic, but not a kind of a dedicated beginner tutorial, just to outline the whole approach when it comes to creating the site or the terrain in Revit. So that's what this video is going to be all about. Now, if you're just a beginner starting out, if you would like a whole course dedicated to Revit, where it will take you from a complete novice to somebody that's at an intermediate level that can finish complex projects on their own, I have a full course dedicated to that. It's a 16-hour Revit course, and it's available on my website. The link is going to be in the description. Also there, I have a whole course just dedicated to site plans, site design, and all of the tools, features, and options that Revit has on offer when it comes to site design in Revit. So if you're interested in any of those or some other of my Revit advanced courses, make sure to check it out. Okay, now without any further ado, let's get straight into Revit.
So here we are in Revit, and I have just a simple mock-up kind of house, just to have something on the screen. And now we're going to start creating our site plan, or our topography, or the landscape, the terrain, or whatever term you want to use. So for creating your terrain or your landscape, you need to go here to Massing and Site, and then all of that is created through the Topo Surface tool. Now for this Topo Surface tool, what you want to do is you want to navigate to a top-down view. Now you might be tempted to go to level 1 or level 2, but when you're creating a site plan, you really want to go here to the site plan view. Now, the reason for that is because in level 1, you're not going to be able to see the site plan. So, because Revit doesn't really want to show the site in levels, because it might look kind of weird, because the site can go above the level at some points or something like that. It can usually look really weird and awkward, and for the floor plans, you usually just want to see the building and not the site. So the site will only be displayed in site plans as far as floor views or floor plans are considered. Okay, so now let's go here to the Topo Surface tool, and we can start placing points. So what I like to do is to start off by outlining how wide I want to model my Topo Surface, and that's where I place my points. Now you will see that the elevation is here set to 0, so everything's going to be quite flat. And of course you can play around a little bit. Now, don't worry if you don't have a perfect square. You're usually not going to have a perfect square or a perfect outline when it comes to your terrain, and you actually don't want to have a perfect outline. Now, Revit will end or complete your site where you don't have any points, so it's just going to go between the points. So if you go here and add another point here, as you can see, it's going to go in that direction, but it's not going to go past that. Now, what you want to do, if you want to add any points in between, and usually you are going to have some points in between, you want to add them to the outside of your terrain, not on the inside. The reason for that is because you might have some trouble spots if you add it on the inside. So for example, here let's place a point, and I'm just going to place it on a minus 200 centimeter height, and just place it here on the inside a little bit, and then go to the 3D view. Now here for this 3D view, let's see. Okay, this doesn't look that deep. Let's go to units just to see. Project units. Okay, yeah, I want this to be centimeters. Okay. So if I set it to minus 200, there we go. So it goes way down, and if you switch this to realistic, or maybe better to go with shaded, as you can see, it's going to look really odd. It's going to be connected on the top, and then this point is going to be way down. So you don't want that. You want that to be on the outside like this. So it looks like that. It doesn't have that weird edge on the side. So just something to think about. Don't place it on the inside. place it in the outside. Here I have an image, so you don't want to go like this, you want to go like this with the points for your site plan. So you just want to go kind of towards the outside when completing this. So that's the idea anyways. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of this one, go back into hidden line, and let's go back into our site plan. Now also you may have noticed that here for the 3D view the site will appear, but it's really hard to figure out where you're placing those points in the 3D view, so I like to stick with the site plan for placing any points. Okay, so now once we have this, we can select any of the individual points and set their elevation. So for example, here we can set this one to 300, and this one can go maybe at 100, and this one can go at 100 as well, maybe something like that, and this one can stay at, let's bring it up to 60, I don't know. Okay, so once you have your basic points, the outline, then I like to add the kind of points on the inside. So here maybe you can add one at 290, kind of here, and then at 200, perhaps here and here, maybe 160 here, and then also kind of like that. And then you can just go like that. So for example, for the house, I don't want the terrain to be lifted around the house, so I can go to maybe 30 centimeters, and then just go all the way around the house and add those points. So we have these points that are at 30 centimeters, and these are at 160, so we can kind of control how the terrain goes around that house. And more points you add, the more complex the shape is going to be. So let's go into 3D view now. So as you can see, it's lifted in this area. Maybe go back to shaded. There we go. So we have a few points lifted at this area. We can add a few more. So for example, if we go back to site plan, you can go to place points. Let's go with 200 elevation, and then let's add something here at 200. Maybe let's go to 230. Add a few points there, just like that. And then you want to go down to maybe, I don't know, 100. Around that point, and then maybe even 60 here, just to make it a bit interesting, kind of like that. I don't know. So you can play around with these points, you can place them as much as you want, so maybe even like that. So Revit is going to look kind of weird sometimes in these floor plan views, but don't worry, that's okay. When you switch to 3D, it's going to look like that. So you get the point how these elevations or differences in height actually look like. So as you can see now, the terrain is quite different here. We have this kind of part that goes above ground. We can do maybe on the other side. If we go here to site, here we can add an indentation, so maybe minus 100, go like that, maybe minus 130. Now the reason why I go with these additional points in the middle is because I don't want to have it kind of flat on the bottom or on the top. I want to have kind of a softer edge. And then we can place some points at maybe minus 30 here. Just to go like that all around. And then when we go back into the 3D view, that looks like this. So it looks like sort of an indentation there. Let's just hit finish, and this is what we have. So we have an indentation here, we have a little bit of a higher spot there, and then also this part is higher as well. Now, depending on what the type of a site plan that you're creating, this might not be a good representation. So Revit will add these contour lines, but they're only going to be at 100 centimeters or 1 meter, which is an odd interval It's great for larger site plans, but if you're just trying to kind of show off the backyard and what that looks like, it might be a bit too large if you have smaller variations in the terrain height. So what you are able to do here on the Masking and Site tab, on the Model Site option, we have Site Settings, and here you can play around with the contour lines. So I like to set the increment to something smaller, especially for these residential plans like this. Hit apply, okay, and as you can see, when the interval is 50, it will look like this. Also, as you can see here on the bottom, we have this indentation, but it doesn't show that with the contour lines. So you can actually change that. Here, as you can see, the start is at 0, and I don't want that. I want the start to be below ground. So let's go minus 1000 and then hit apply, okay. And now it will add those contour lines here even on the bottom, which is of course a really good option. You can also display which are the heights at each contour lines by going to the Label Contours tool, and then you can just add a line just like that, and that's going to add heights at each of these contour lines, which is really useful. So as you can see, now we have heights at each of these, and you can select that line at any point and kind of move it around however you would like. So here we have additional contour lines and so on and so forth. So you can display that as well. Also, when it comes to the site, it appears like this as kind of ground color, which is really annoying. So what you can do at any point is select it, go here to the Properties panel, and in the Materials, if you go to this little button, it will open up the material browser, and then you can search for grass. Now for grass, you have this grass option and plant option. I actually prefer using plant. It's grass too, but it's this lighter green. So if we go into realistic, it looks like this, and actual grass is quite darker, so I prefer using this as a representation of grass. And also one more thing for your site plan, these lines may be a bit too thick, so you can actually play around with the settings or display of these lines when you go to the Manage tab, and then you go to Object Styles, and then here, maybe make this a bit smaller. Okay, we can't. Anyways, here you want to find Topography, expand that, and then here you have the primary and secondary contour lines, and you can actually play around with them. Maybe instead of having them solid, the secondary contour lines are all of these lines here. The primary ones are the ones at 0, 0, and they go in increments of like 5 meters, so you can set those up as well. But for these, you can add something like dotted lines or something like that, so it would look like this, and this is that primary line, as I said. So as you can see, it's quite thicker, and of course you can change that as well when you go to Object Styles. See, Topography. See, the line weight is quite thicker, so you can set it up as maybe 1 and 1 and add the same dot pattern. And now as you can see, it's no longer dark. Now it's the same as the rest of them. And we have these dots, which are kind of easier on the eyes, and they don't, they're not that aggressive. And of course, you can make them gray or something. And just keep in mind that when you go to the 3D view, they're going to display in the same way in the 3D view as well. So that's just something to take in consideration. But there you go. That's how you create terrain in Revit. I hope this was interesting, and I hope you have learned something new. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, make sure to like and share this video, leave any comments if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for any future tutorials. And also, if you're interested in some of my advanced courses, make sure to check out my website, balkanarchitect.com. And if you're interested in all of my Revit project files, check out my Patreon at the link in the description. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.